Are the Far East states of India in danger from Pakistan, from China and Bangladesh in the current scenario? And this is a great question. You see, India is a vast country, and India's Far East is thousands of kilometers away from Pakistan, but it's in a whole different neighborhood. India's Far East is in Southeast Asia. Let's take a look at the map. So when we talk about the Indian Far East, we are referring to what everyone calls the Northeast. You see, if you were to measure the distance from Pakistan, roughly, to India's Far East, it's almost 2,000 kilometers. If you were to talk about Nagaland and the border with Pakistan, that's over 2,000 kilometers. So that's really far away. So India's Far East is actually geographically situated in Southeast Asia. It's the gateway to Southeast Asia for us. And it's a very different part of the country compared to the western part of the country. And this is an excellent question. Are these states, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Tripura, and so on, even Sikkim, let's say, and even Bhutan, let's consider, are these states in any kind of danger from China and Bangladesh in the current scenario? Uh, yes, we will have to be very careful. We will have to assume that there are threats. And let me tell you why. See, right now, China is kind of thus far staying out of this conflict. They have made statements criticizing India, in regretting India's actions vis-a-vis Pakistan, but they're not keeping a very, very, very hawkishly close eye on what's happening. Mr. Xi Jinping is in Moscow right now. He's attending the Victory Day parade. I suppose it must be over by now. But if it was a very precarious situation, Mr. Xi Jinping would not be in Moscow. He would be in Beijing. Anyhow, so what is the threat that the Far East of India can face? You may remember a few weeks ago, the Pakistan, I don't know who it was, a high ranking Pakistani official, whether it's the foreign minister or the defense minister or whatever it is. I think it was some kind of lady or something. That high ranking official, Pakistani official, visited Bangladesh. And right now, we are seeing a lot of synergy between Pakistan and Bangladesh. They are essentially kind of on the same page. They are back to the days of East Pakistan, West Pakistan, right? They both have governments and regimes that see India as the enemy. There is a shared hatred for India right now among the people who rule East and West Pakistan. And Pakistan right now is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. India has hit them hard, and the Pakistani military needs to show something to its people that we were able to hit India back. Otherwise, they lose all legitimacy in the eyes of their people. And if they lose legitimacy, it's going to be regime change. It's going to be disintegration of Pakistan. There's going to be riots on the streets, and they'll lose control. So they need to quickly do something, the Pakistani military, that reassures their people that look, we hit back at India. Now they are trying to lob hundreds of missiles and drones at India, and everything is being shot down. So what do? Well, what they can do is to resort to what they do best, which is terrorism. So I can assure you, India's cities are on high alert. It may not be visible, but the governance machinery is going to be, and police machinery, and whatever other machinery we have will be on high alert. Because it's well known that there are, when India revoked the visas of all Pakistanis after the Pahalgam attack, we discovered tens of thousands of Pakistanis who had been living in India for decades. So they have plenty of people who have infiltrated India. I'm sure that we have not been able to catch all of them. And then there are Rohingyas across India who have been settled in Jammu and where not, God knows what places. And then there are millions of Bangladeshis in India, in illegal infiltrators. In 2014, there were 50 million, according to the government. So imagine the threat we are facing from within. So these elements, these enemies we have within, who are all across the country, in every city, they're visible, they're in your face. That's a huge failure on the part of the government of India. But look, this is today's situation. So these elements can be activated and leveraged to conduct potential terror operations against India. Clearly, right? Now, Do we have the presence of such elements in India's Far East? Yes. We have Bangladeshis and Rohingyas in all the Far Eastern states. In Manipur, you have Bangladeshis and Rohingyas who have been allowed to settle by the government. Why? I don't know why. In Nagaland, I promise you, these Bangladeshis are a big problem today. They are all over the place. I don't understand how they have been allowed to settle. I just don't get it. And as long as these elements are present on Indian territory, it's going to be a huge problem. Half of Manipur is overrun by foreign cookies. They have killed more Manipuris than the Pakistanis recently killed tourists. But they don't matter. Manipuris don't matter. The Far East of India doesn't matter apparently. So, this is a huge threat. These these Chin cookies, they have no allegiance to India. These Rohingyas, they have no allegiance to India. These Bangladeshis, they have no allegiance to India. These Pakistanis, they have no love or allegiance to India. They all hate India. They can be leveraged by foreign powers, whether it is Bangladesh or China or whoever. So yeah, we are in danger. We are in danger. As long as you have foreigners squatting on Indian territory, we are in danger. And the government, once we deal with Pakistan, or in parallel while dealing with Pakistan, we need to start evicting foreigners out of India. I don't care if they're not willing to go, throw them out. If Bangladesh is not willing to accept them, then I'm sure there are options. The geography of the Indian subcontinent, including our strategic backyard, is pretty large, is all I will say. So it's high time the government does something about this. Because, yes, Chiching is asking a great question. I think all states of India are in some kind of danger, mainly from the enemies within, who can be easily controlled by the enemies without. Yes. So yes, the security agencies need to be on high alert everywhere in all the states that have borders with other countries like Bangladesh, or whether it is Southeast Asia, Burma, which is undergoing civil war, or whatever else.